Hey everyone, I am back and I wanted to update everyone on the status where Adrian and I are. The last video that I recorded, I let you guys know how we went for an IUI consultation with nurse practitioner Amber Reichner, and we went into the consultation with intention of asking for prices and next steps for IUI, which is insemination. And she suggested, her professional suggestion was to not jump into the IUI because we had done cycles with medication, with Clomid and Femara, which helps stimulate the follicles to produce multiple eggs to help increase our chances of conceiving. However, we did not do all her wishes. She had prescribed us to start off with Clomid medication, 50 milligrams a day, day 3 through 7 of my cycle. She also ordered for me to have an ultrasound of my follicle on day 12 of my cycle to see how many follicles I produced. And the goal was for me to produce more than one follicle, because not every egg is perfect and every follicle has an egg. So the trigger shot that she also prescribed was going to be to release that egg, to increase my chances, or eggs, to increase my chances of conceiving. So we did the 50 milligrams per day of Clomid. We followed up with the ultrasound, but we did not order the trigger shot because we did not know that we can get it cheaper than we did. So we did not do our research. We did not save. Rite Aid wanted to charge us $202 for the Avidrel, but we found a cheaper route. They referred us to some specialty pharmacies that specialize in fertility. And yeah, so that's what we're doing this month. We went to her, like I said, our sole purpose going to her was to inquire about the IUI, the costs, and the next steps. So she encouraged us to do a cycle or two with everything included, which would be to take the medication of Clomid, to get a follow-up ultrasound of my follicles. The goal is to produce more than one follicle, and to get the trigger shot. So she would administer the trigger shot to me on the day that I scheduled my ultrasound. So she said, call me when you start your cycle. That way we can order the medication, I can give the prescription for the trigger shot, and we can set up an ultrasound, and you guys can have time intercourse, and we can just go from there. Because the percentage of the IUI is not that much more than percentage of us conceiving this route. So we're like, okay, we went back and forth a little, talking about it, thinking about it, and we made a decision that we were going to do this. So I was due to start my period October 1st because I just had a period this month. September 4th was my last period, 4th through the 8th, and my next expected period was going to be October 1st because my cycles are usually 28 days long. Sometimes I get them 28 days to 30 days. Rarely I've had them 27 days, I'm sorry, and one time I think 26 days, maybe once 31 days. I've been recording my cycles for the past 2 years, since 2017, so I know my body pretty well. I wouldn't say I know it 100%, but I know it pretty well. So my period was due on October 1st. I started September 28th, which was, today is 30th, 2 days ago I started, which is odd because that was day 25 of my cycle. Anyways, I don't know. My body's just preparing, I guess. I'm speaking to it. My body's preparing. I'm speaking it into existence. My body's preparing itself for pregnancy. And so I had it. That was Saturday. The weekend I had to wait. I had to wait over the weekend to call today for them to go ahead and order the Clomid. Order the Clomid and the Adrian, the trigger shot. So I was bugging them all morning and afternoon, and I finally picked up my Clomid. I don't know if it's backwards here. I picked up my Clomid. It says take 2 tablets by mouth once daily, days 3 through 7 of cycle. And this is the Clomid. That's what it looks like. So each pill is 50 milligrams. That's 2 of them a day. I recorded, I believe, taking my first round of Clomid. I'm not sure if I recorded taking my second round. Maybe I did, and I don't remember. So that's day 1 of Clomid. And I went ahead, the nurse set up an ultrasound for my follicles, which is next Wednesday, day 12 of my cycle, which is October 9th. So prayers that I have multiples in the name of Jesus, and the more the merrier. Because if I have multiple follicles, that means I can release multiple eggs, meaning I could get pregnant with multiples. The goal is 1, but it increases the chances. So we'll see what happens. Thank you everyone for staying tuned, staying posted. I was encouraged the other day. Someone reached out to me, a young lady on YouTube who is also trying to conceive, her and her husband. So shout out to you. Thank you for encouraging me, and I'm praying for you. She also said that she was drawn to my vlog because of my belief in God. 100%. We wouldn't be here without God. And even if God did not give us a baby, we would still praise Him. We would still honor Him for everything that He's done in our lives to this point. I wouldn't be with my husband if it wasn't for God. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for God, alive and well. Anyways, I can go deeper into it, but I just want to keep this video brief, and I just want everyone to know. I was looking over all my videos last night of when I started this journey, which is actually a year ago on the 24th, and it's amazing to see everything that's happened, what God has done in me, myself personally, and us, my marriage, and around us, in couples around us that God's blessed, answered prayers that we've seen happen, people I've connected with on here, YouTube, Instagram, people that have opened up, that come out recently that they were struggling to get pregnant, and now they're doing things to go forward to get healthy or do the necessary precautions for them, for their body. Like I said, what works for me is not going to work for you. What works for you might not work for me. I'm not saying it's not going to, it might not. Everybody's different, and God's timing is perfect. We trust Him. We're confident that He is going to do what He says He's going to do. And thank you for your continued prayers. And like I said, I was looking back on videos, and one of the videos that I looked back on said that I'm making this video to give God the glory, because He is going to get the glory. He's going to do it. And there's so many words that He's spoken to me from the beginning of my journey till now. Confirmation, reassurance, encouragement. He's doing something. And before I let you guys go and I leave you guys waiting and anticipating, just keep us in prayer. But I'll be back for the ultrasound follow-up and to let you know if we are going to do the trigger shot. But before I let you go, I want to let you know a word that I heard this morning by T.D. Jakes. He shared it out of Isaiah 43:3, and it talks about being treasures of darkness, how darkness has treasures to God for us. And he said it's weird because you wouldn't think that darkness had treasures. What's that mean? But darkness is light to God. The Bible talks about darkness constantly, but how darkness is not a thing. It's the absence of light. And he went into talking about Adam, how God was working in the darkness, because in the beginning when he spoke and said let there be light, he was obviously in darkness before he said let there be light, or the world was in darkness. And then he made Adam, and he put Adam to sleep, and out of the darkness in Adam he pulled out woman, and that was Eve. And he said what Adam did not know was inside of him, he pulled out in darkness. And a lot of times we might not know that we have things inside of us, but God knows, and he wants to pull it out. And sometimes he'll cause us to fall asleep spiritually, not spiritually like fall asleep, but he'll do things necessary to get our attention and to show us that there's things in us that he desires to pull out. Great things. There was great things inside of Adam that God desired to pull out, and that was woman. So I know that God is desiring to pull out more in our journey, in your journey, in your marriage, in my family, around me, in my church, in day-to-day people, connecting with, other TTC couples. He's behind it all. He's behind the scenes, and he's in the scenes, and he's perfect in all his ways. And we know that this season's just a preparation for our next season. And I don't want to keep rambling, but I just want to let everybody know that our hope is in the Lord, that it's God's time. He also said that it came at the speed of light. Okay, not a speed of darkness, no. He talks about the seed, how God partnered with woman to produce. It says, when God allows a woman to collaborate with him in the creation of a human being, he places the embryo in the darkness of her womb and holds it 3 trimesters there. He's careful about bringing it to the light too soon. It's so good. I'll leave the link in my description box, but be sure to like and subscribe and get the notifications if you don't. Thank you so much, like I said, for your prayers, for staying tuned in our journey, and I can't wait to see what God's gonna do. I know it's great and it's grand, and there's a purpose in the here and now. So be encouraged that there's a purpose in your here and now. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Maybe I might video tomorrow how I feel. I think I did that last cycle. I videoed how I felt every day, or maybe just a recap of the days if I skipped a day of the Clomid. I also talked about how it altered my period, my cramps, all that good stuff. So stay tuned, and then also stay tuned for our ultrasound of follicles October 9th. So we'll see what happens, and then also baby dancing. These are just steps until we can try to make a baby. So see you later. Bye.